What's going on? What's up, everybody? Liquidity zones. Liquidity zones. This right here is going to change your trading game. If you've already watched my other videos, they're very, very important. Okay? They're going to complement exactly what it is that I'm going to teach you. Liquidity zones. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it, you guys. Okay, so liquidity zones. Notice these green lines with the dollar signs? Those are liquidity zones, right? What exactly are liquidity zones? Remember, I'm putting this into simple terms. That way most people could understand it. Liquidity zones are where, I'm gonna delete this, the money is sitting. If you want to be a profitable trader, you have to know where the money is at. So whenever you're looking into getting into the market, entering a trade, always ask, or even when you're just analyzing a chart, always ask, where's the money? Right? Where is the money? Remember, the markets are going to move in the direction that hurts the most amount of people. If you watch my previous videos and you're paying attention, remember, the market makers are in control, right? Remember, 90% of traders lose 90% of their account in 90 days, right? Why? Because of liquidity zones. Remember, 90% of people, 95, 99% of people are learning the same things. The banks and the institutions, the market makers, they know where the money's at. Right? They know where the money's at. So, perfect example. This chart is the Bitcoin chart, right? BTC USD. Make sure you're taking notes. Good thing this is recorded because you could always just go back and watch the beginning. But really, really pay attention to what I'm going to show you because this is going to change everything for you if you understand it. And if you don't understand it, go back and watch and replay it as many times as you need and get this information to stick to you. And this applies to everything, okay? It applies to gold, it applies to crypto, it applies to currencies, it applies to everything, right? Because the market makers are the market makers and they move every single market you can think of. So, before these lines that I actually drew on here were green, they were actually blue, right? And keep in mind, when you're marking up your own chart, you can choose whatever color you want to represent whatever, right? For me, the green candlestick means it's going up, the red candlestick means it's going down. My lines are my lines, my color is my color, because that's just what I chose for it to be. But once you learn and apply what you learn, what I'm gonna teach you here, you can go and apply it. Colors, at the end of the day, it's really all your preference. It doesn't really matter, right? So liquidity zones are where people's money is sitting, right? So for example, right, on this run, this rally to the upside, most people were in profit right here, right? So when we're looking for liquidity zones, we're looking for the areas where people are in profit and the market has not come down to shake those people off. Remember, most people are amateur investors, amateur traders. Most people do not have diamond hands, right? Most people, when they're in profit and they either start getting their entry retested multiple times or actually start getting a pullback and they start getting a negative trade, what do most people do? Most people either get stopped out if they're smart and they have a stop loss, and most people they break even, and some people just marry the trade and end up going negative and negative and negative and negative, hoping the trade goes their way, and eventually probably 90% of them are over leveraging, which causes people to get stopped out. Remember, when we lose, the institutions win, the market makers win. So what they're going to do is they're going to move the markets in ways that will shake you off. And this applies to crypto too, especially crypto, right? What happens? News comes out about how Bitcoin's crashing. What do people do? They start getting scared, right? This is all basically all a game of fear, right? Manipulating fear. So, liquidity zones are basically the areas of interest for the banks. So notice, for example, I'm gonna use these previous candlesticks, right? Notice after every rally up, right? After every green candle, there was always a red candle that took at least 50% of this green candle, right? This rally up right here, let me zoom in as close as I can to this so you guys can see what exactly I'm looking at, right? So this candle, this red candle, green candle right here, what happened? Pushed up, and then the candle came back down to take at least 50% of this. What happened right here? Rally up, and then what happened? A red candle came to take 50% of this, at least 50% or more. What happened right here? Green candle up, then the market came back down to take 50% of that. Now, why does this happen? Remember, people who are buying this right now, they're in profit, and then what happened? Their orders never got stopped out, their stop losses never got hit until it actually did, right? The market came back down to shake off the people who were in profit right here, got them to stop out their orders, get their stop losses hit, get them to shake off at a loss, or got them to go so negative because they were over leveraging, they had to have been forced to close out those trades. So the liquidity zone is the area where the market had gone up or down, depending on how you're looking at the market, but it's wherever, for example, if I'm looking at an uptrend, right, and I'm looking at the most recent push up, I'm going to look for where there has not been a candle to come down to take at least 50% of that most recent move to the upside. So this 50% had not been taken yet by a red candle, which means people were in profit right here. Their orders had not been attempted to be shaken out of the market. They had not been tempted to, get their markets, get their trades closed at break even. Stop losses were never hit, right? And then what happened? Right? Market comes back down to this area. all these people who were in profit on the way up, now they all start getting shaken off. Closing orders, stop losses hit, negative trades, going negative, boom, getting forced to close positions because of over leveraging. And then what happened? All of a sudden, right? The market wicks this zone. And if you would have had a pending order at this price, knowing that this was going to happen, look at how clean of an entry you would have had and rode that to the upside. You would have just had a tight stop loss. Right? Over and over and over again, this type of thing repeats itself. Right? Now, this is a 4-hour chart, I believe. And when I'm looking for this, I look at it on the 1 hour or the 4-hour chart. Let me see. Yeah. Right? 4-hour chart or 1 hour chart for Bitcoin. Perfect example right here. Right? Liquidity zones. Remember, all the green lines were blue. Once the market actually comes, and I like to call it the money sweep, once it comes and sweeps up this money, I change the green line up or change the blue line to green to identify or to resemble that money has been swept. Right? Perfect example right here. Most people were in a sell, they're in profit, right? There had not been a green candle to come up and take 50% of this major move to the downside, right? So 50% of this candle had not been taken by a green candle. 50% of this red candle had not been taken by a green candle. The people who were selling right here had not been tempted to close their orders because they had not been stop hunted. They had not had their stop losses hit. So what happened? Most people are in profit. There's money here. There's money here. There's money here. The banks know where the money's at, so they're going to go ahead and drive price back up to grab that money. All of a sudden, what a coincidence. The market makers came up here to grab that and then drove price back down to the downside. Every single time this repeats itself. So all I'm doing when I'm looking for a trade is identifying the liquidity. Where is the money at? Because if you know where the money's at, you know where the market's going. Because the market makers move the markets to those directions. Right? Let me see. Another example. I should have just kept the chart. I actually had a lot more of these zones identified, but as you go on and as time starts passing, you don't want to keep previous zones that have been liquidated on there because it's just gonna just make too much noise on your chart. So you're gonna delete them as you go because there's always gonna be new liquidity sweeps, new liquidity zones looking to be liquidated. So the old ones really don't get swept more than once. But yeah, this one has already been, I should have used a different example. But you guys see how that works, right? Let me see. What's another one I'd be looking at? Let me see. Oops. Gold. I should have used gold as an example. And you're always gonna find and identify these zones in the 1 hour or the 4 hour chart. So notice how there's green lines and notice how there's blue lines, right? The blue lines are the liquidity zones that had not been grabbed by the institutions. The money has not been grabbed in this area yet, which tells me the market's probably headed there. The green lines where they actually were, right? So gold on the 1 hour, I only trade gold on the 1 hour. I will make a future video on how to trade gold. Perfect example. I'm going to do this. Remember conventional wisdom. Know what the 99% of people are doing. And do the opposite. So right here, what are we looking at right here? Bro, this mouse is pissing me off. What are we looking at right here? What happened right here? Right? What happened right here? What are we looking at? We had a rally up. We found a candle before the major move up. And even down here, right? And even down here, right? Major move up, major move up, major move up. There had been no red candle to come back down and take 50% of that. So that tells me there's money right here. There had been no candle to come back down to take 50% of this candle. So that tells me there's money right here. There had been no candle to come back down to take this 50% of this candle. So that tells me there's money right there. So if I'm, and remember this green line was actually blue, like this. Remember, blue for me indicates money is still sitting. Green indicates the money has been taken. So 258500, all this had passed, all this had happened. People were in profit, and then what do the banks do? Nope, you guys aren't gonna be in profit for too long. We're gonna come back and take all your money, and guess what happened? Look how clean this was, right? So before this had even happened, I already knew the market was gonna come down to this area, and look at this. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. And yes, this applies to everything. Look at this. So if you're more of a risky trader and you know how to trade like this, look at this entry, bro. We're talking about a clean, wicked entry. So on these type of trades, when you know this, then you can over leverage, and that's when everything starts to change for you. Because you could have just set a stop loss, like right here. Tight stop loss. But look at this. Down by the wick. Wicked 2585, which is why I turned it green. It doesn't get any better than that. And if that doesn't tell you that I know what it is that I'm talking about, I mean, you guys, let's be real. Right? Let's be real. So the blue zones are the zones that have yet to be grabbed by the institutions. The green zones have actually been grabbed. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I might just lock this video because, man, bro. This is how you trade. Remember, when you're opening up a chart and you're looking to mark it up, you just ask yourself, where's the money? Wherever you identify the money to be sitting at, always expect for the market to head that direction. Because remember, they don't want us to win, and they're not gonna let us win. So if they know where your money's at, they're gonna come and get it. All you're doing is trading into that. You're not trading against them, you're trading into that. Beautiful setup. Beautiful setup. And this plays out over and over and over again, right? Gold, 1 hour chart, beautiful. Every other thing, every other currency, look at it on the 1 hour chart or the 4 hour chart. You're going to be able to identify if it's the 1 hour or the 4 hour just by understanding, okay, I'm looking back at the low peaks and the high peaks, and I'm looking left, and then I'm making sure things add up. And if they add up, then it's gonna be on that specific time frame, right? But man, bro, gold is bay, 1 hour chart. Learn how to set. And remember, all of these can be pending orders, buy limits, buy stops, sell stops. It all depends on whatever pending order you're choosing. It all depends what type of trade you're taking. But if you have pending orders, like for example, let's say 2585 even, we had a pending order which we did buy limit, and this is a trade that I called out to my group. We're in profit. You can't go wrong with this type of trading because you know what the market's going to do, right? Like you can, they say don't predict the market, don't predict this, don't expect this, but look, when you know what the market makers are doing, you damn well can. This information is going to separate you if you apply it. Obviously use proper risk management. Obviously, just don't over leverage. But man, back test this. You're just gonna be amazed. Your win ratio is gonna increase dramatically. Pay attention to this video. Watch this video minimum of 10 times. Apply it, learn it. This video right here is gold. And it's on the gold chart. It's crazy, right? This is golden. This is gonna change your life. Know where the money is and expect the market to head to the money. Remember, I don't even have a chart pattern that I've identified. I didn't look for a double top. I didn't look for a double bottom. I do not have Fibonacci drawn on here. I do not have an indicator. I do not have any moving averages. I didn't look at no Elliott waves. I didn't look at a flag pattern, double top, I didn't look at anything. The only thing I look for is where the money is. That's it. That's all you have to do. But 99% of people aren't trading like this because 99% of people don't know about this. You're a dangerous man now. You're a dangerous man now. Risk accordingly. Follow me on Instagram. If you found this valuable, get plugged into my trading group. In my trading group, I'm dropping signals. I'm dropping entries, stop losses, take profits. I'm dropping different types of trades. You guys get plugged in. I have trades that I just send out that you can copy and paste on your own trading account. I know what I'm doing. I just showed you. Get plugged in. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. Forex All Star. Learn how to trade the right way. Let's cut the fat. Let's get straight to it. I'll follow back. Let's get this money. And I'll see you guys in profit. Take care.